My friend told me his mom shaves his pubic hair. Pretty disgusting, I know, just read through PLZ. I don't even remember what led to this conversation and am pretty sure he was starting to get a little drunk. He told me that his mom shaves his pubic hair because she's too good at it. Don't know what that means either. I stared deadpan at him and yay, he was dead serious. I asked him why can't do it himself and he said they just got used to it. We're both 18 males. I know it's none of my business and I'm overthinking it. But surely this is creepy AF? Should I express any concerns or just don't bother? Yay, that's fucking disturbing. I have 2 sons and would never do that shit. I would suggest you tell him something like, hey man, you were pretty drunk last night and said some weird shit and make up 2 funny things and mention what he said about his mom and end with another funny made up shit. Watch what his face says. Personally, I'd bring it back up with him when he is sober. The fact that he told you this whole he was drunk shows it's something he thinks about but knows he can't say sober, and it may have been his cry for help. Him saying she's too good at it might be him repeating what she has said to him to normalized what she is doing. The guy needs help. Even if you're just like, hey, is everything okay at home, dude? And if he's like, yeah, why? Just explain that he told you a few things while he was drunk and that you just wanted to check in on him because he didn't seem right while he was talking about it. This is how pedophiles do their work. They find different means and actions that can pass as normal to their kids, or kids they take care of, and use those opportunities to touch them. Some use this crap, others bath them, wash their genitals, etc. Tell your friend to stop his mom from doing this. I'm guessing there is an unhealthy relationship. This would work great in a stand-up routine. I would pretend it's a joke. If something unusual of this nature is brought up again, then I would definitely have some questions. This is absolutely fucked up. Seriously. My daughter has public hair early and I'm aware that a swimming costume may be an awkward experience for her. So I went and bought a wetsuit-style swimsuit for her. It wouldn't cross my mind to bloody trim her. Wow. That's definitely not normal. That's grooming in more ways than one. Sounds like the start of a broken arm situation. Yes. Creepy as hell. Mom needs to get her hands off his balls. I cannot imagine this working out well for the rest of his life. If she's this enmeshed in his personal life now, he will never be able to have a relationship. He needs to start enforcing some hard boundaries or his life will be shit. I want my ex to move on. Should I tell him I'm dating someone? Update. Guys, thanks for all the comments. Want to clarify that my ex hasn't bothered nor being aggressive at all. After I read all the comments, I talked with my ex about my current relationship, which he wished me well. We were friends before we dated, that's why we had this friend group, and my ex said our 4-year relationship is valuable even though we broke up. He doesn't want anything from me now. I also asked my current boyfriend how he feels about me hanging out in this friend group including my ex, and he said he's totally fine because he knows I built my friendships for many years as an immigrant. Both of them are emotionally mature and I'm glad I had a talk with them after hearing opinions from people here. Original. I'm 29F and broke up with my ex-BF, 34M, 4 months ago. We dated for 4 years. I'm currently dating other guy and I like him a lot. But my ex hasn't moved on from me and wanna try again. He's a great person and we were always best friends to each other. We have a friend group, we hang out together so we see each other often. We still feel like we're friends. I want him to move on and be happy and I feel guilty that I moved on. If he finds out that I'm dating someone, he's gonna be upset too. Should I tell him that I'm seeing someone? I don't know if I should not worry about him since we broke up, but I care about him. What's the best way to let him move on from our relationship for him? You have to stop hanging out with him. Stop hanging out like you're friends. You're not friends anymore. No. You don't continue to have contact with him. You cease engaging with him. The problem here is that you're not friends. Your ex is just someone hanging around waiting for you to wake up and want him back. That's not a friend. You feel like you're friends because you're over him, and that's fine. But you know he hasn't moved on. Staying friends was a mistake. He is an adult though and has his own agency. No one was holding a gun to his head. You have nothing to feel bad about. He's your ex. Life goes on. Maybe he's living in a bubble, but he logically had to know you'd eventually meet someone else. If you two maintain regular contact, then there's no reason not to just lay it all out. Hopefully he wakes up to reality. Good luck. The grapevine will take care of that for you. Let him be. If you see him and he asks, then sure, be honest and tell him. But don't go out of your way to contact him and tell him. I'm sure he'll figure it out soon enough anyway. By not telling him, you're holding on to the fact that he wants you back. Like you're keeping him in your back pocket in case your current relationship doesn't work out. It's not fair to him by keeping it from him. If you actually care about him, be honest so that he can move forward in his life. You're probably gonna need a new friend group. It's only been 4 months, so I think the problem is you are still in contact. After a breakup, especially from a long-term relationship, you gotta cool off and not see or speak for like 6 months at least. You don't need to tell him about new BF. You just need to back away from him and avoid. Give him space to get over it, even if you have to enforce that space. I found out my 37M wife, 38F, had cheated on me for a long while. We had begun dating in high school. I know that we heard high school romances barely last, but we stuck through college and got married. We have a 13-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old son. Right around a year after our daughter was born, I discovered she was cheating on me with a friend of hers. When I discovered it, I was seriously considering divorce, but she promised to change. Therapy did seem to work for a long time, but a few months ago, I noticed she began talking to him. She tried to assure me they aren't having sex behind my back, and she even said I'm paranoid and controlling. Unfortunately, a friend of mine did say he saw them together making out. When I confronted her, she denied and denied until she then admitted that she had been seeing him for a while and kissing, although without having sex yet. She also said I haven't been good in bed recently. Since I couldn't kick her out, I left for a hotel, coming to pick up my daughter from school and dropping her at home and then coming back home. This has been going on for a week and I'm confused as to why she would do this. How can I ever trust my wife again? Yay, no, don't trust her, but don't leave your own home, bro. Fuck it, let him have her. Better off focusing on you. You can't ever trust her. She's a liar and a serial cheater with no remorse, and there is literally nothing you can do to change her. You should probably talk to a lawyer, sue for custody, and divorce her. At this point, do not think of her comfort, but yours. Being the nice guy has gotten you nowhere, and I'd start by taking over the bedroom and letting her sleep on the couch. I hate to ask, but are you sure the kids are yours? Seems like she's probably been cheating since before your daughter was born. It sounds like you have done everything on your part to make it work. So no, it doesn't sound horrible that you don't want to be with her. What I don't get is why you had to leave the house when she's the one that messes up. And it sounds like you want to fix the relationship, but it sounds like there is nothing to fix. Why would you even consider trusting your wife again? She doesn't deserve your trust, and there is nothing to say she wouldn't do it again. I think you know what you should do, and that is divorce her. What advice would you give your daughter if she was in your position? Step 1. Paternity test. She won't change no matter how long she cries or beg you. Feel sorry for the kids to experience this. Separation is the way to go. You will gradually overcome this. You're not the first and not the last. Stay strong for the kids. The horrible words have yet again popped up on this subreddit. They are just kissing, no sex. Sorry mate, I know your love for your daughter is immense. Take her and stay away from your soon-to-be ex-wife. Good luck. Leaving the house will hurt you in court. Sorry man, but once a cheater excuses their cheating, then it's over. She tried to gaslight you by blaming you for the cheating. You should ask her to leave. She broke vows, not you. Women always, and so do men, think the man should always leave. Don't leave your house. I rejected an apology from abusive parents after 2 years no contact. My 28 female parents severely neglected and emotionally, physically, and mentally abused me as a child. I was able to get away from that hot mess of a situation when I was 13. For 2 years I was able to heal and catch up on school and social skills. I rarely got to go to school from 4th grade till 8th. When I was 15 my father got clean and tried to reconnect. It wasn't long before he was complaining about child support and asking me to look at the costs for moving out on my own. By the end of that year I moved out from the home I had because he was threatening to bring me back home if he couldn't claim me on his taxes. So I learned to survive at 15. When I was in my mid-20s I had an urge to reconnect. This was a mistake, and there was a lot of hurt that I discovered during this time. This built up to an argument between my parents and I where I laid out everything that was wrong with the way they acted towards me. They refused family therapy, so I proceeded to return to no contact and moved on with my life. Recently my father reached out saying something to the effect of, "Despite our parting shots I still love you, but you know that, it rubbed me the wrong way." So here nearly a week later I responded, "No, actually I do not know that. You don't get to act the way that you do and then say that you love someone. I stand by what I said. Your words may have been shots, but mine were honest. You did not do right by me. You did not do any of the work necessarily to rebuild a relationship. Family therapy was not a request. It was a requirement to move forward. This is something that you should have arranged that many years ago. Neither of you will ever have the opportunity to put me last ever again. You can do the work or you can leave me in peace. Now that I've sent it, I'm realizing that as much as the child in me craves a parental relationship, I don't think I'm willing to put in the work to rebuild any sort of relationship. I don't think there was ever a relationship to begin with. I guess I'm curious about the opinions of strangers. Sounds fine and reasonable to me. Your life, your standards. If your post is accurate, they probably weren't good parents and may not even be good people. My father was never around and mom left by the time I was a teen. They weren't bad people. Just selfish people who weren't fit to be parents, so I get where you're coming from. Learn from your parents' mistakes and shortcomings and try to be a better person for it. You've done nothing wrong here. Good luck. Ouch, I am sorry you had to go through so much while so young. It's probably for the best to never get your hopes up for a good relationship with your parents. I don't know the details, but they seem like people who will only make your life worse. I had a similar but less intense childhood. One parent has psychopathy, the other autistic. Needless to say, it was necessary for self-preservation to cut ties with the one. I'm glad I did it. I turned out more normal without this parent. Don't let your guilt drive you back into harm's way. When people who have treated you badly say things like, "You know I love you," they are telling you to give them the status of a loved one without having to do any of the work that shows people love. They're asking you to pretend like they've shown love when they haven't. That statement would rub me the wrong way too. They're basically just trying to get you to move on despite your needs never being met. They don't deserve to have a place in your life if they aren't willing to do the work. I support your decision to cut them out. I feel this, I'm in a similar boat right now. Got nothing but respect for your choices. My mom is trying to get in touch with me too after 4 years of no contact between me and my abusive, neglectful parents. It's been me and my sister for those 4 years, but recently she got on touch with my sister and now wants to get in touch with me. I know it's easy for people on the outside telling me not to bite, but honestly just watching other people be a happy family gets to me sometimes. I wish I had that. I miss the fantasy of having parents who were proud of me. Now, I'm scared that if I let her in again she'll hurt me more. Update me. Update me. Ouch, I am sorry you had to go through so much while so young.